Alright, welcome everyone. We're live. It's Zenith Online Racing Season 8, Tier 1, Round 4. We are headed to the Hard Rock Stadium Circuit? I don't remember if they actually named it or not, but we are in Miami, United States of America, for the Miami Grand Prix. I'm Arbega, joined once again by GP Colin. How are we tonight, sir?
Doing really good, Bigga. How are you?
I am well. Got our session started on time. We got the formation lap back. We're hoping that that's fixed. So we're going to run that tonight. Hopefully we won't have any issues, but we may need to restart. Packer heading out. Packer very quiet today. Didn't really say much in chat. Just showing up and just going to, I'd imagine, put Tier 1 on notice. I think everyone kind of forgot in the last 2 weeks how quick he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Packer out there now. And get on board. Right on board with Packer on his outlap around Miami. It's a little bit sunny, so hard to see those corners right now. It ended up being a pretty nice racetrack. I'll give him that. I liked it. I thought it was good for overtaking. There's a couple suspect areas of the track, but for the most part, it's actually a really nice little circuit.
Boy, I tried driving that today. It was incredibly difficult for me. I kept spinning out. I could not figure out how to ease the throttle into some of these turns, so
yeah,
it'll be fun to watch how the good guys really manage it.
Right here is a very tricky sector. Just never felt good through there every time I drove it. But Packer navigates it well. Didn't lose much time. Got over the curbs nicely. Always seems to have a really solid, stable setup. So we got Packer on an outlap. Quite a few guys on an outlap. I would say almost everybody out there at the moment. No Puff tonight, so Puff fans upset, disappointed. Puff couldn't make it to Miami. But good turnout tonight. 17 cars out here. Puff would generally almost always be here. Fuzz is out there as a reserve tonight. But yeah, we could have easily had 18. A couple of guys that we're used to seeing not here tonight. Sam, Quaminator, and Puff. So right there is 20 drivers. So that's, that's a good. We're getting a little more stability now. We knew Lunar Jedi would come back at some point. He missed the first 3 races, but he did tell us that in the off season. So we kind of were like, yeah, we'll put you in, and no worries,
Cool.
So that's the commitment coming back on our end. Now we get another driver out here regularly since we saved that seat. It's like a promise to appear, Yeah, I'll show up after 3 races. Just can't be there for those.
Well, anything they can do to keep the admins informed. Don't leave you guys guessing. Just if you can't make it, let us know. Let you know. I mean.
Ooh, very slippery through there for Packer. Curbing, very tricky to navigate. It just looked like he tried to carry a little more pace than he did on his outlap, and ended up costing him a bit of time. So I do think this is a track we could see a lot of DNF as well. So you never really know. Like, even if there's a guy who's much quicker ahead, like, you just be smart, keep getting around the track as quick as you can. I've been getting phone calls from Russia all day. Like, I'm clearly not going to answer it. Leave me alone. Stop.
You mentioned safety cars, and I was thinking about that earlier too, when I was trying to figure out what a strategy might be. And I thought, you know what, playing the safety car card, if you will, at this track, first time here, inaugural race, it might not be a bad idea. I would expect at least one safety car. And then maybe even a couple of VSCs. And actually, I guess at least one safety car, I should say 2 safety cars. Is what I would expect. The walls are very close here, and like we said, it's very difficult to navigate some of these sharp turns.
Yeah, the pit exit is horrendous as well. That was a bad spot.
And the chicane.
Yeah, I was just watching Beck go through there, and he nearly collided with another. The car, it was a McLaren, they had to be off the road. Where the pit exit is. It's brutal. But I'm on board with Beck, just running his flying lap if you want to
I'm going to join.
Go
Yep.
back to what you were saying there.
Yeah, I was going to say the chicanes towards the end of Sector 2, beginning of Sector 3 are just incredibly difficult.
Yes.
You really have to. There's not much room to hit your marks. You know, you have to be on.
Yeah.
Very tight.
And that's the thing. I think there's a lot of ground to be made up for a track that nobody's raced. There's a lot of ground to be made up for these drivers. Let's take a look at the order. Asylum is out. Lost it around the hairpin there in sector. I guess it's the end of sector 1.
Yeah, I think that's 2 weeks in a row for him.
Yeah, he's got a decent lap time up there for now, but it's just not going to be able to improve it, obviously, with the car in the wall. Beck keeps the lap clean and was 28.9, so he's ahead of Asylum. He'll start ahead of Asylum no matter what, since Asylum is out. So let's take a look at some of these lap times. We haven't really been paying attention to that at the moment. Just sort of, we've been sort of talking about the track and the layout and the difficulties these drivers are going to face tonight. But right now we got Packer on pole by a huge margin, just as we suspected. Brian, though, well ahead of everyone else. He's 28.3, Andrew 28.6, Zem right in the mix, 28.7, Joshua in the mix, Beck, Asylum, Fuzz, Wreck Diver, Lunar, all within a half a second of each other from 4th to 10th. So that's nice to see. I imagine as the night goes on, guys will get a better feel for things, start to learn the circuit a little bit more, and they'll start finding pace. So I think that even in the race session, you know, I think about halfway through we might have a good idea of who's going to be able to like work their way up to the front. Lack of mistakes obviously going to be a big factor here in a track like this, but you know, just in the lap itself, I feel like there's a lot of time for these guys to find, especially with, like you mentioned, all those difficult chicanes and slow corners with high-speed exits. Those are going to be the places where the drivers are looking for lap time. And some guys are very good at finding that lap time in the race, and some are great at qualifying. So, have we lost a bunch of guys?
No, just one.
It looks like Say dropped and Jinnit dropped.
Not on my screen, but that's entirely possible. Just to draw a comparison, this week's time compared to last week's qualifying times, I think last week it was the top 11 were within a second of each other. This week, just the top 2 are within a second.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of expect that with Packer. I think the best hope of beating Packer in a race is that he crashes. Honestly, I mean, like, pace-wise, like, I don't know how anyone can sit there and think that they can chase him down. Like, he's just lightning fast. He's been driving with no assist for so long. Like, he has such a huge advantage over a lot of these guys who are somewhat new to it or haven't been using them exclusively for a long period. T-Money back tonight, though. He's been using no assist for quite a while, and he's been holding his own in Tier 1 so far pace-wise. He's just had some bad luck, and I think when you're running no assist, it is a lot easier to lose the car and make a mistake. You see it, you know, from drivers can run a beautiful race all night. Like, even some of the best we have that are the most consistent will still have errors here and there.
If I could just expand and on the top, the chicane and the tight corners, the slow corners that you mentioned earlier, and you know, yeah, some guys are probably going to get through there a lot easier than others, and that could create havoc for the guys that are faster through them being behind somebody that's a little slower.
Yeah, absolutely.
And vice versa, if they are a little faster and they feel like they're being pressured, they might be able to skip away from them coming through those tight chicanes, getting out of there and getting a good start down the back straight. I think it's somewhat of a bottleneck, really. I don't know what turns they are, but it's the end of Sector 2 there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that plays out going through that section.
I'm just taking a ride on board with Zamagos right now. He's on a push lap, making his way through Sector 2. We got a new time from Packer 27.2, so I think that was 3/10 quicker.
Yes, it is.
So it looks like, you know, Brian Scott, I would say early, the first 3 races of the season, has proven that he's a legitimate threat for best of the rest every week. I mean, like we said, Packers just has lightning pace, but Brian seems to have the capability to beat every other driver here besides Packers. So I think that he's going to be like sort of our dark horse. Like, I guess coming into the season, he was sort of favored. Like, we kind of knew he was going to be up there, but he's been pretty solid so far, and he's actually delivering consistently with the pace. Zenith's been struggling with his quali. I think if he can get that sorted out, he's going to be very dangerous, because in the race, he just absolutely chops through the field.
Josh is about ready to cross the start-finish line to end his lap. I guess the finish line. It's a great improvement.
Excellent, excellent lap. Yeah, he's almost caught up to Brian there. Ahead of Adri, like, I mean, so, you know, it might be fleeting, and he may lose a few more spots from here, but that's, you know, those guys behind him still have to put up a better time to get ahead.
And Adri is just starting his hot lap right now. Be interested to see if he can improve.
Yeah, let's get on board with Adri. I haven't seen much of him tonight, and he's been a really serious contender at the front as well. Every week, the pace is there. Just the consistency last week let him down. See what he does tonight, though. It looks like very comfortable through here, I would say.
That looks really good,
smooth, yeah. Like, the car just looks, it's like he's dialed in at the moment. 3/10 up, now we'll put him ahead of Brian, potentially, who has improved.
Here comes the tricky part.
Looks like Lunar's lost it on the final corner. If this was real qualifying, Adri would be screwed. Yeah, nice job through there. Wasn't particularly quick, but he didn't lose time. I think if you get a little too greedy on the curbs, you can lose more than you'll gain by being quick. So I think that's sort of a make sure you get through it type of corner. It's not really like you're going to find a ton of pace through there. A little deep on the apex there on the penultimate corner, and then long sweeping left. I guess it's the third last corner. 27.8,
nice.
So really good improvement. You got 4/10 over Brian there. So now Brian probably has time for another run. He's going to have to figure out a way to find 4/10 there and get up and back into P2. Beck out here. Beck with a really respectable time, 28.6. He looks like he's heading in. Say on a run. Say's actually got a nice lap there. Yeah, he just spun out. He was way down the order early in qualifying, but I mean, he's right in the mix with, you know, the usual midfield guys. So, yeah, you know, I think he can start from that position and run a really good race. Like, he's been much better in the races than qualifying so far.
Yeah, he had one of the top qualifying time trial times that I saw.
Yeah, for Miami?
For Miami, yeah.
Okay, so he's been practicing. That's good to hear. Definitely been, I didn't expect him to be doing this well so quickly, but it's not surprising with how quick he was with the assist.
Ooh, Zem. Really good.
4/10 up, though. That would be good enough for P5. Potentially P4, even P3. He just has to find another, like, 10th here.
I'm really happy to see that now we have 4 drivers within a second of the leader. Well, 3 drivers. Do we have 4? No, not quite. That's pretty close.
Just fractionally off. Like, he easily could have been 3rd, so maybe we got a back-to-back Zem podium tonight. This would be as close to a home race as you get for Zimaglis. I would think. Louisiana's closer to Miami than it is to Texas, right?
Oh boy, good question. Oh. Probably. It's so close.
I'm just thinking of the map, because Texas is sure, it's close to Louisiana somewhat, but like the size of the state, like Austin's all the way on the west side, right?
Okay, yeah. I was thinking just Texas in general, but
Yeah.
yeah, you might be right there.
I would think Miami's as close to Louisiana as Texas State, but that's not necessarily Austin. It's a big state. It's the biggest, right?
Alaska is the biggest. Funny story on that. When we were back in high school, my history teacher was telling us that when Alaska was becoming a state, Texas was all upset about it, that they were no longer going to be the largest state.
That's the most Texas thing I've ever heard.
So they wanted to cut Texas in half, and basically, all right, that means now you'll be the third largest state. So they left it the way it was. I don't know how much truth there is.
We'll take some more away from you.
I don't know how true it was, but that stuck with me.
Yeah, I mean, Alaska technically by territory, I think, but landmass-wise, like, I guess it's a pretty big piece of land up there.
Yeah.
We sold it to you.
What's that? Who told this to me?
No, we sold it to you. Canada sold it to America.
Yeah.
So that you could defend us from the Russians.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the honest reason. Like, it's purely tactical. We would love to keep Alaska, but the Russians might come through there. So.
That's a very short wall. You know, it's long in terms of width, but it's not very tall.
Oh, sorry.
The analogy sucks. It's terrible.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I just mean, like, you know, if they invade, like, we would get trampled over through there, whereas, like, America probably has a good chance to stop them. Anyways, we're not talking about wars. We're talking about racing.
We're racing.
Yeah.
We digress.
We'll have to run a podcast sometime and talk about global affairs. Whiskey, wine, and war.
There you go. Whiskey, wine, and war. I like it.
Alaska was purchased from Russia? Oh. Well, history lesson's over.
Oh. They were seeking protection from the Canadians, apparently.
Yeah. We are much better at hockey than them.
Dude, if you ever get the chance, watch the, what's it called? It was the summer, 1972. It was Canada, Russia.
Say with a 28-1. We're getting to the end of qualifying here. It looks like we're wrong about everything. Ed also says Austin's closer to Louisiana than Miami.
Huh. Well, it was a question, so thank you for the answer.
Yeah, we have our answers, and we're terribly wrong about everything. I don't know. I honestly thought we sold Alaska to. It's kind of attached to us. Makes sense, though. Those pesky Russians on your same continent.
Yeah, how the heck did they ever own Alaska? How was that happen?
Because Canada was right beside it. They probably were like, yeah, you guys can have it. We're not going to try and stop you. There's Joshua on a lap as we wind things down here for quali. Sam's cheering for Brian. I guess they're teammates. Sam's not here tonight. Rough outing for T-Money and RC, just well off the pace here. I think that would be the lack of experience. Oh, someone's gone deep in the final corner, or third final corner. That's another. Joshua, no improvement. Oh, well, an improvement time-wise, but does not improve his position. Buzz on a lap as well, so checking with him. I think Rockstar is about to finish a lap.
That exit right there, yeah, you see how he kind of lost grip a little bit?
Yeah.
That, coming out of that hairpin, you get very, hairpin, that turn, get a little eager on the throttle, you got to be very careful.
Alright, so Packer 26.9, he's going to be,
wow.
He's going to have his feet up 2 laps before everybody else finishes. Packer 26.9, Adri 27.8, he'll start second. Say gets third place, that's really impressive. 28.1 for Seye. Brian is P4 with a 28.2. Look at those times. 28.219, 28.221, 2.35, 2.53, 2.89 from 4th to 8th. That is going to be a hell of a battle.
I can't get Individual, it's just leader. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, very, very tight there. Incredible. Yeah, so I guess I didn't hear anybody mention what might be coming for weather during the race. Yeah, Miami, though, they get rain every day. Well, chance of showers every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
That could be the equalizer. I mention that only because Packer has very little competition, but the weather could give them some challenges.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even just... I mean, sometimes, like, racing yourself can be a... I mean, I don't know. Am I inventing here? Racing yourself can be a detriment, though. Like, sometimes you're better off being pushed by another driver. You know,
yeah, you start thinking
or something.
Yeah, start thinking about other things, perhaps.
So I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I'd be a lot more comfortable with a 15-second lead than with a 1 second
yeah,
lead.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
I guess we're just kind of reaching. We're inventing.
Before we get into the race again, I just wanted to mention we were talking about hockey in Russia. So the Summit Series. If you ever have time to spend, watch the 1972 Summit Series. More of a documentary, I guess. I'm sure you can watch the individual games, but it's Soviet Union against Canada.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Bobby Orr didn't play in it, but it has Esposito, Bobby Clark, a whole shitload of other guys I can't even remember right now, but fascinating because, of course, back then the Cold War was still very much on, so a lot of political stuff going
looks a
on
little
with
rainy.
That. Yeah, all right.
That looks like there's a very good chance of rain. So I was going to block the Russian number that was calling me, and I looked, and it's a different... One single digit is different every time.
It's like, I wonder if it's like those texts. I haven't gotten them in a while, but you get a text and you look, and you're just a number in sequence with a bunch of other numbers.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
All right, so
the
many
people
inaugural
running scams right now. Like everything seems like.
Yeah.
I feel like people are trying to scam me more often than my friends are texting me. You know, like it's insane.
Well, you know, you're aware of it. I got a mom. She's 76,
oh, man, that's tough.
77. So yeah, we worry a lot about her, and that you know, we don't live far from her. I mean, so we're always here for her. But yeah, that's just one of those things. You know, somebody calls you. If you don't know the number, Ma, don't answer. They'll leave a message. Don't answer.
Yeah, if it's important, they'll leave a message. And if you're not sure if it was really them, you phone them instead and ask if they called you.
Yep.
Anyways, just some advice for you old folk out there on your watching the race here tonight. We draw on the old crowd with our common golf commentary voices.
Yeah, I don't understand the golf voice analogy, but I guess it's a good thing.
Well, having a good voice for golf would be, you know, somewhat of a compliment, I suppose. I mean, I don't know, like
I don't
a lot
care.
of people have annoying voices, so if our voice is tolerable even for a golf broadcast, that's great news.
So interesting. Packer is starting on the hards. Am I seeing that correct? Yeah. Let me bring up the telemetry.
I did not look at tires. There he is. He is on the hards. Say also on the hards. Look at that. We got hard, medium, hard, medium, hard, medium, medium, hard, hard. Razor's gone on sauce. I don't think that's a good move.
Well, remember I mentioned earlier. Yeah. Wow. Packer really knows how to see that.
Yeah.
A lot of guys will just go right into the wall on that. I think he was doing that on purpose, trying to heat up his tires.
Like he's scuffing them. Yeah, nice little moves there.
It just looked like he was sliding a lot. The other view.
Now, is formation lap a place where the drivers should be within 10 car lengths of the driver ahead?
Boy, I think. Yes and no. I don't remember it being such a big deal. I know definitely, following the safety car it is.
Yeah, yeah. I just realized Adri's like way behind the rest of this. Oh no, he's not. What's going on here? He is way behind. Adri's like in the middle of the field.
I don't see him. Well, I mean, I see everybody in sequence pretty much. No laggers.
Well, it's showing me Adri like in the middle of the pack, but there's also an Alpine at, well, that's obviously packed, that's fine. Jeez. But yeah.
Oh, you know what? I bet they got out of sequence here because I think he's behind.
Looks like he's behind Zamoglis. So he must have screwed up or something. And he's just running the formation lap through there now. Alright. Anyways, we're hoping this is fixed. We're hoping we're going racing here. Let's go. Formation lap's over. 29 laps of Miami, Season 8, Tier 1, Round 4. Packers disqualified.
Inaugural race.
Inaugural ZOR race in Miami.
Don't ask me to say that after the race.
A few guys still struggling with the immersive formation lap. A lot of guys got it right, though. There we go. 3, 4, 5 lights are on. The tires are warm. And we are racing in Miami. And looks like Packer gets off the line well. We're going to have a few cars into this corner. Big collision there. Aston Martin takes a big whack. And Brian and Rockstar going wheel to wheel. Sorry, there's Rockstar and Zenith going wheel to wheel now. Zenith made up a lot of places. Where did he qualify? He kind of just sneakily settled in the midfield, eh?
We got, no, Zenith's up 1.
Okay.
Asylum's up 2.
Kind of just tucked in with the rest of the group there, and I didn't really notice that he'd improved because he was way down the order at some point in qualifying. So, Packer with a 1.2 second lead already. We're not even through Sector 2 yet. I guess they just got through Sector 2.
So I would assume a lot of the guys being on hard tires that there was really no imminent threat of rain.
Yeah, it might just be overcast. But I mean, every time I've ever seen overcast built into the game, there's always a chance it could start raining.
Yeah, even when it's sunny. Jeff, now Mark, might come on and say, rain expected in 10 to 15 minutes.
Anybody got a look down this street? Anyone get a better exit, have a run? I'm looking down the order and don't see any super close intervals. Some guys still trying to warm their tires a bit. Looks like
who is that?
Rockstar on the hards. Trying to get them fired up.
It does take a good lap anyways to get those warmed up.
Looks like Brian is going to get a crack at
there goes
here.
Back around into the wall. He saved his wing, it appears.
Here comes Brian down the inside on Seye. And he gets it done. So Brian back to P3 now. He can go start chasing down Adri. He's got Seye out of the way. And now Zenith approaches Seye. See if Seye can stop the slide here. Started really well. If he can just hang in that top 5 for the early stint, I think he'll be alright.
So RC is boxing, changing to his tires and wing. So he's going from the hards to the mediums with a new wing.
Here comes Zamoglis basically pushing Rockstar through the end of Sector 1 here. Now into Sector 2. Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
I'm going to have to turn that off.
I know. It's unbelievable. They don't stop, man. All day. I'm just going to have to put my phone on, silent to go to sleep. They're just going to keep phoning me all night. Unless I have, a very close friend in Russia who's super desperate to get a hold of me right now. They're like, I need help so bad. Why don't you answer?
Yeah, he's calling from a payphone.
Yeah.
Anybody remember what a payphone is?
Yeah, a few people in here. Zenith taking a look. He's not quite close enough, though. Jennett maybe get a better run out of this final corner here and take a look down the main straight. At the moment, no. Looks like Say got off that corner well.
So now DRS is coming online, so this will make things a little more interesting, I would expect.
Yeah, Packer is absolutely checked out front already.
Yeah, incredible. You know, Adri and Brian are not slow. They're on the softer compound, the faster compound, and Packer's got nearly a 4-second lead after 3 laps.
Yeah, he's flying. I don't think he's getting touched today. I wouldn't be surprised if he laps everyone at this pace. On the hard tire too, like you said.
Yeah. However, we do have a nice battle for P2.
Jennett going around the outside now, and Say tucks in. So Jennett through, Say down to P5. I think Say can hang on to P5. I think he's got the pace to keep Rockstar and Zem at bay. See if he can pull it off.
And not to be overlooked either, Say is on the hards, so you know, he's been passed by guys on the softs. So I'm sorry, the mediums.
Razor's had a moment there. Brian Scott with that DRS absolutely flying. He's going to get Adri here. It's going to be close, but I think Brian's got it done. Yeah, Adri tucks in. Maybe a little bit of a push through there. I don't know if Adri ran into the back or not, but it was close. So now Jennett in the mix.
Yeah, P3, 4, and 5.
I think these three are going to have a hell of a battle tonight. They look like they're almost dead even.
Yes, AA is struggling. He just got overtaken by Rockstar as well.
Mm-hmm.
However,
sliding.
Yeah, you just got to get to the end of the race. You can't win it right now.
No. There's going to be a point where somebody won't have the pace to get him, but I think it's the consistency that's probably hurting Say right now. He's just having like little errors in the corners, and that's costing him time, right? Like just the assists help you keep the car right, and he's still getting used to driving without them. So he's found the pace, but now he needs to find the consistency lap to lap.
And of course, you know, new track. I don't know how much practicing these guys have done here, but as the tire wear begins to become a real part of this race, guys are going to have to start being very careful on throttle.
Right. So the sun has come out, so that's good news for the dry race fans. Comes Jennett, taking a look at Adri now. Just got that inside line. It's going to be close. Adri still sort of deserves space, but I think Jennett's got it under braking. Maybe Adri looking for a little switchback. Don't think it's on. Jennett off after Brian.
Wow, Jennett really lost. Well, I say Jennett. Brian really pulled away from these two. Oh, there goes Jennett. Ooh, what a save. No contact, but he really got on the throttle a little quick there, lost the back end.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, he's lost that spot, but managed to keep the other guys behind him still, and that's important. So if Jennett can just kind of right the ship for the next lap, and then he can get back on that charge.
Yeah, I think I just saw vomit fly out of his helmet.
Yeah. Say and Zem having a nice little battle here, and they're trying to hang on to Rockstar. This is good news for Rockstar. If Say can give Zem some trouble, Rockstar might be able to gap him a little bit. They've been racing very close to one another. 5 laps in. Oh, behind we've got Asylum taking a big lunge down the inside on Joshua, but Joshua keeps that traction nicely and holds the place for now. Just saw that in the background. Looks like he's going to hang on to that.
I'm wondering if these hard tire drivers right now are looking to stretch to the softs. I would imagine the softs. I think they could do it. The medium tire, the medium compound drivers are probably going to go just long enough to hop onto the hards.
Yeah.
And I think, from what I experienced earlier today, I think that you could take the mediums almost like last week. I think you can take them 10. Depending on how careful you are with them, you might be able to get 12 laps. Ooh.
Yeah, something's happened back there.
Asylum and Fuzz were side by side still. Yeah, so I'm really anxious to see what goes on there. If we get no safety flags, I want a safety car. I'd like to see if these hard compound drivers go to the softs.
Look at this battle we've got going for 5th as well. Like there's just stellar racing up and down the field. Even that battle for 9th, there's a lot of drivers in the mix there. Then we have Seye moving just ahead. We got a terrible camera angle. And there goes Zem down the inside as well. So Zem gets through. Rockstar loses 2 places in 1 corner.
Wow.
And now he's got some work to do. And I think he just nudged the wall there on the exit. He's losing a little bit of ground. So he's got Joshua right on his gearbox now.
So that's going to make Seye feel a little better.
Yeah, Seye sort of, calmed down. And he's got the car back under him now. And as I was saying, if he can hang on to P5, then he can start kind of slowly working his way up, right? Jinnet's back in front of Adri there, but Seye...
T-Money looking to make a move.
Did Zem run into the back of somebody there? Oh, he had a spin.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, that was...
Somebody did.
Seye.
Oh, no.
It was Seye. He's gone into the wall. I thought I saw Zem run into the back of him, but I don't know if it was just the way the camera cut. I don't know what happened there, but... That may have been an actual incident. I'm not 100% sure, but that sucks for Seye because he was starting to figure it out. Even if he didn't get pushed, in there, still really unfortunate.
Yeah,
he's made that error because he was definitely. I think he would have been able to hang on to P5 quite easily if he just got himself settled down.
Yeah, he was battling with some very fast drivers.
Yeah, now we have a really big battle for P5. Rockstar.
Zem.
Yeah, Rockstar, Zem, Joshua, Asylum, Fuzz, Lunar, all within striking distance of one another. T-Money and Wreck not far off either. And we kind of have a little bit of field spread up in the top 5 at the moment. Rockstar losing touch with Adri. Adri's still putting pressure on Jinnet. Jinnet now in clear air, but he's got 3.5 seconds to Brian. See, I think Jinnet on outright pace has the pace to get up to Brian, but I don't know if he's quick enough to get around him. We'll have to see how that pans out. And there's a spin for Joshua. That's what I was saying early in the race when I said drivers that don't make a lot of mistakes, the guys that are really consistent, and they still mess up here and there. That's the guy I was thinking of when I said that, Joshua. Very, very smooth, consistent, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and you know, it just happens to everyone at some point. You're going to have these moments, and you just need to keep your head down and try to recover, because some guys are more prone to those moments. They have these errors often, and you can make up ground on them, and safety cars can always bring you back in, right? So.
Yep, we still have quite a ways to go, so you don't want to give up now. A spin doesn't really mean much.
Zem trying to make a move here. He's trying to get that inside line for the braking zone. And he's got that DRS, but it's like, well, Rockstar early on the brakes just kind of, not sure if he's looking for a switchback or he's just trying to let Zem get out of the way. He doesn't want to worry about it. Maybe giving up the DRS for the start-finish straight. Maybe so he could have it down here where it's a better spot. No, maybe he just made an error because he did just lose a little bit of ground. Comes Asylum now with a chance at Rockstar. Rockstar with the DRS as well, though able to defend it. The DRS seems very powerful here. And T-Money now into the DRS range of this group. And really, Seye, Joshua, Beck, those guys behind, it's not going to take them long to catch up, and they're very capable drivers as well. Well out of position, but I mean, we got a hell of a battle starting here. We're going to have nearly the entire field racing for P5. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, for sure. And now, I don't know if you mentioned, I think you mentioned Fuzz, but Fuzz is right there with them. And so is Lunar.
Yeah, but T Money
And
and Breck
then,
have joined, and Seye and
yeah,
Joshua and Beck are right there too. Like, those guys are going to be in striking distance as these guys squabble.
interesting too, the mixed tire compounds within this battle as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Zem, this is super important. Right on the cusp of breaking that DRS. He absolutely needs to get that gap over 1 second if he wants a chance to hang on to P5, because
Oh,
there's a
Luna
lot of quick
almost into the
drivers in the
back.
mix here. Yep.
Almost into the back of Fuzz. Nice job avoiding it. Yes, I'm not quite able to break that DRS. I wonder if his mediums are starting to give him a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I think
I
the
wouldn't.
medium guys are going to start to have some drop off soon. Great.
I think I was going to say I took the mediums to about 40% in 11 laps. So a lot of guys are very uncomfortable when it gets into the 30s and the 40s. So it's entirely possible that this is creating a little issue for them.
Oh, a little sliding there for Fuzz. Got Lunar and T-Money now closing in on Fuzz as well, so this battle's starting to heat up a little bit. Looking at the rest of the field, Adri just kind of hanging on. Janet, Zem, obviously we can see just trying to get away from Rockstar just ahead of this group. So I'm going to I think I'm going to take the stuff off the screen for a minute and just kind of give us some nice broadcast shots of this racing here. Because I don't think we really need to watch much. We know this is the battle right now. So let's clear the screen and...
Seye looking to make a move here, coming down the back straight on Wreck Driver. Wreck Driver has DRS as well, so I don't think Seye can pull it off.
No, not quite. Get back to the group up front. Lagos being pressured by Rockstar still. Can't quite get away. And then we got Asylum in the mix there as well. We got Fuzz, Lunar, T-Money, Wreck, Seye. That's becoming a pretty tasty little battle now as well. Do we have a yellow flag? I see some green flags now.
Not on my screen. Adri really pressuring Rockstar here, and Rockstar's not far off of the back of Zem either.
Adri, you say?
Yeah, Adri's P6 looking to...
What happened to Adri? He was up front with Janet.
Well, he's not.
Maybe that was the yellow flag.
It's entirely possible, because now he's fallen back to nearly a second.
Nothing there for Asylum. Asylum running another nice race though. He was solid last week. And running in P7, putting pressure on. He's right in the mix there. So having another good outing here tonight.
I always got a root for my fellow New Englander.
The first medium guy in the pits, T-Money.
See if he had any damage. Not that I could see. Looks like just a tire change onto the hards.
I mean, he could be looking for an undercut. He was right in that pack, wasn't he?
He was right behind, was it Wreck Driver?
Yeah, no, Seye, I believe. He was in that group there. Either way, I think an undercut actually could work here with the group being stuck racing one another. Just like I was going to say, the tires, what we go 12 on the medium and 17 on the hard. That kind of seems like the right balance, right?
Yep. But I really, you know, like Zenith last week, I wouldn't be surprised if Zenith is playing this to extend the wear on those mediums.
Absolutely. He's not catching Brian that quickly, and he's easily pulling away from Zem still, so Zenith can easily stretch us out and go to the softs at the end and then become a threat again.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Packer almost. Wow. Packer coming out of turn 2 or 3. Really, really got shaky.
So we got a bunch of guys pitting now. Zem, Asylum, Lunar, all into the pits. Oh, sorry, not Lunar. I was going to say that would have been bad. Fuzz into the pits.
Hot tires.
Yeah, looks like everybody going hards. Makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm thinking
Rockstar
these mediums
Rockstar got by Zamagos quite easily. I was thinking those mediums were pretty much done at that point.
Yep, Vinny Clip's going to the hards as well. So the medium drivers are now in the minority. There's only 4 of them left. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hard compound drivers have yet to box. They started on those, so those 6 there.
I was going to say, if there's a safety car and we have yellows, somebody out? No, it looks like they're okay. Could be a VSC maybe for debris, but looks like they got out of it all right. So I was going to say, if there's a safety car and you're on the hards, you're laughing now, right?
Yeah.
It's the risk you run with, you know, but at the same time, there's a big risk. If there was a safety car on lap 7 and you're on the hards, you put yourself in a pretty risky spot, right? If you do pit. The rest of the medium guys will be coming in. Brian stays out, it looks like.
Yeah, Brian, Zenith, and Adri have all stayed out.
Now, I mean, if you're in this group when you know that the guys behind aren't really putting pressure on you, you're on mediums now, why not just hold out? You get a safety car,
yeah.
You even extend to the soft stint.
Absolutely. I'm thinking the same thing. If nobody's really pressuring you, stay on these mediums as long as you feel comfortable. Push it just a little bit in terms of maybe you get a little uncomfortable with it, but if that can get you bridge the gap to the softs, why not?
Yeah. And I would think if you're on the medium still, I mean, even the guys in the hards can go to the softs, right?
I would think, yes. I would think that these guys that have started on the hards and still on them 13 laps, I would think that they could easily go to the softs.
Yeah.
They still have to go a few more laps, but...
Yeah, I think you go 19, 20 on the hards.
Yeah.
You're getting the softs to the end.
The mediums, you might have to come in a little earlier and then be dealing with a little more tire wear on the softs at the end. However, it's still, at this point, I don't think there's any benefit to the medium tire drivers going to the hards.
Packer is pit to the mediums.
Pitting.
I don't think there's no point in Packer taking any risks tonight. Brian, though, is pitting. He's going to hards, I presume.
Well,
yes. Zenith, Brian, everybody's pitting now off the medium, except for Adri stayed out. So
he did,
Adri listening to us and thinking, yeah, maybe I should stay
maybe.
Because wreck driver on 14-lap-old hards with CA pressuring isn't really going to bother you. Like, those guys need to pit as well, and if you can maintain a gap to them.
What's going on coming out of... Was that Beck?
Yeah, like
Beck had a moment.
There's also a Red Bull. Red Bull's gone around in a Haas car, it looks like, as well. So is that Razor and RC at the back there?
We got that Razorback, yeah. I don't know if his wing is intact or not.
Yeah, he's not having a great night. He's actually been pretty solid the first few races of the season, but struggling now. And there goes Wreck Diver, makes a big mistake. Seye through. So that's not good news for Adri. And then Joshua putting some pressure now.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Really surprised. I expected some of these guys to go to the softs. Really did.
The hard,
But
yeah.
like you
Well,
said,
I mean, there's still a bunch of hard drivers out there that could do it.
yeah, I totally agree with you though. Packer has no reason to try to,
Yeah.
risk anything at all. Just
Bring it
wow,
home
what's
at
going
this
on
point.
here?
Adri's pit going
Say
to hards.
Say looking to wow, Say what a save. He was looking to get around Wreck Driver, compromised his line a little bit, got a little loose, and Mr. Joshua took over, and so did Brian Scott.
So I'm thinking wreck. I think if you're still out there on the hards, you're thinking softs now.
You better be.
I think so.
Or else.
Janet's got a penalty now.
Not bad, huh? Only 2 penalties to this point.
Yeah, I guess there's not really room to cut. There's walls everywhere.
You're right. Well, although the chicanes, like right here where I'm with Wreck Driver, and up here can be, I think you can get a
there's
few warnings.
definitely a few places, but there's not a lot of places you can run wide and get away with it. Like you're not going to keep going. Like you can't cross track limits here, right?
Right, you can't cut corners really.
No room. No. Track limits more so, I would think, than corner cutting is definitely doable, but extending track limits doesn't really. It's not going to happen a lot of places where you're like running wide on an exit, like you're in a wall if you're running wide. And to be honest, I'm surprised we haven't had a single DNF yet.
Nope.
And no safety cars. There is a Sector 3 yellow as I say that though. Or just a spin.
That looks like it might have been Vinny Clips.
And we got Joshua, Brian making his way through on fresh hards. Joshua and Wreck have stayed out on softs. Say has pit. Or sorry, stayed out on hards. Say has pit to mediums, which obviously makes sense. I mean, like how many more laps do the guys on hards really need to go? Like 2, 3 maybe to go to the softs again? Like Razor took him 10 laps and he was spinning around and stuff, so they're obviously not going to burst on you or anything.
No, I would think that the hard compound can go at least 5 laps longer than the mediums. The medium tire drivers took them to, what, lap 14, 15. So you would think that the hards can get you to lap 20. And you should be able to take the softs the rest of the way.
So Brian has made it through. So he's in the clear now. He's got Rockstar ahead of him. He needs to pit. And it's well off the pace of Packer, but coasting into an easy P2 at this point. The guys around him all need to pit. Jinnit behind could be a threat, but he's a fair ways off with the penalty, so I think Brian has too much to worry about.
No, and again, I think the reality is, however, that this is a track from the few laps that I put on it that can really jump out and grab you, bite you, just spin you around. So, I mean, as comfortable as Packer might be, I mean, if he gets a little loose and slides, spins out, I mean, you got Brian and right there. So,
yeah. So
I don't think anybody can rest.
Wreck and Joshua are still out there, so I'm saying they're going for softs now. Zem had an issue, slid down the order. He was racing Asylum, had a spin in the final turn, and he's gone down to P12 now, so he's got some work to do. He wants to get back in the points.
Let's see. Position changes. Team Money up 7 positions, and Lunar Jedi up 6, Wreck Driver up 5. Unfortunately, the biggest losers are Say down 9 and Adri down 8. Now I imagine that'll change once these guys ahead of them start to pit.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely Wreck Diver with he's going to lose those 5 places once he does pit, so.
And he's staying out. And so is Josh.
Yeah, so they're
But
definitely going
Rockstar
softs
pit.
now.
My bad. Rockstar did box. What's he gonna go on to? The
He's gone to
mediums. Wow.
Interesting. I mean, it could be just, I don't know, maybe they just always were going to the mediums and holding out for a safety car or something, but at this point, I'd even say he's going to get ahead of Joshua and Rec. He's down
Oh,
at the
Packer
11.
with a penalty. Oh, his lead is in jeopardy now.
Yes. He might have to pit to serve it and then still win the race.
Well, you know, I'm here to watch a great race, hang out with you, comment on the race, but also I'm here to learn. So seeing these guys stay out. Wow.
Yeah, that was dicey. T-Money going to the outside on Rockstar and just couldn't quite finish the move. He was very close though. Had very good closing speed, and perhaps down this back straight here you have a better chance at it.
Yeah, Rockstar's
he's lost a lot of time trying to make that move.
Yeah, so he's on, 7-lap old hards, and Rockstar's on the mediums. They're going to be just weaving around.
Yeah, that's true. Rockstar should really pull away shortly.
Ooh, I think he tapped the wall on the back end.
Rockstar?
I don't think he got any damage. Yeah, Rockstar. Yep. I don't think it was hard enough to cause any damage.
So Rec and Josh stayed out again, so...
Alright. And RC is on 17-lap old hards. He can't be going to the end. I imagine, though, he has met the obligation of 2 different tire compounds.
Yep. Oh, and here it comes. Yellow flags. No one out, though. Just a little spinner collision. Somebody had, was it Beck? It looks like had an error as well as Razor.
Well, there goes Beck around. A little pirouette into the wall. Lost part of his front of his wing. Backing up, and yeah, Beck's going to have to box. Unfortunately, he's got a long ways to go.
Yeah, he's already had a spin on this lap, too. Don't be surprised if he puts it in the wall before the end of the lap. Might be it. We're very close to not having a single DNF tonight. I would hope that he doesn't just park it, but I can understand wanting to.
So Josh is boxing.
Yeah, I think he had to.
The Rec driver stayed out.
He's just holding out for safety car, I guess. Adri goes super deep in the that final little hairpin, nearly into the wall, so he lost a ton of pace there.
Thank you, Josh. He went on to the softs. So I would imagine then that Rec driver is going to do the same thing. I mean, again, yeah. I think it was...
Comes Fuzz, though, very close to Joshua. How close is it going to be? I think Joshua should be okay here. Check in with Rec. I imagine Joshua getting an undercut, and he'll probably be ahead of Rec now. Soft tires should work pretty fast. Comes Jinnit on Rec driver. Oh, Say's out. There's the yellow.
Oh, no.
Or is it in the pits? And Beck. They both just went in together, it looks like. Decided to call it a night. Yeah, that's interesting. Both of them in the pits at the same time.
Wow.
And they ruined our perfect night. We could have had every driver finish, but you guys...
No.
You guys had to cop out.
Zem is really starting to hound Fuzz. I think Fuzz made a couple bad comments in Discord there, and I think Zem's gonna like put him to task.
Yeah, he's coming for him. He wants that point.
Wow, Fuzz has got some great straight line speed.
Yeah. Tough to defend. Here comes Rack. Hitting onto those softs. Joshua, I think, should sail right by him by a large margin. The Wreck lost a ton of time staying out that extra lap. Oh no, look at this!
Not that much.
I did. Oh my god! I thought I guess the pit exit cuts a lot of the track because he was right there. That was insane.
Yeah, there is a little. Yeah, they coming out of the pits is a smooth right-hander. Where if you look at the track map, it's more of a major kink coming on the track. That was a little closer than I expected.
So Rockstar's got fresh mediums, and he's got Asylum on older hards ahead, so this could be an interesting little battle for the next few laps, so keep an eye on this.
I really like this, not necessarily, not a fan of the slow speed, but I really like the new technical aspect that a driver has to learn, basically. Slow speed, going through these turns and whatnot.
Yeah. Here comes Rockstar, and he's through, and I don't imagine that Asylum on the older hard tires is going to have much of a chance to get that back, but see if he can hang with them.
Yeah, no, Asylum's looking at a very strong finish here. He just needs to get it to the end. So no need to really battle too hard.
T-Money as well, but I think he's going to be looking in those mirrors soon at Joshua and Wreck, coming through the field pretty quickly on those softs. So T-Money should be able to help his teammate Asylum hold on to that P5 easily, but T-Money could be under threat by the end of the race.
It'd be really nice to see Ferrari finish 5-6, I guess. Yeah, I don't see them catching up to Rockstar. However, they're doing quite well this week.
Yeah, having both a solid night. Asylum going home with P5, and T-Money. Asylum's had a pretty solid start to the season, actually, so he'll be able to keep building on that and probably put himself in a really strong finish for the championship standings.
Asylum just burned his entire battery going down that back straight, so he is pushing.
Yeah, I think he's got to be. He's trying to get
Rockstar.
Well, I think he wants to keep with Rockstar, keep that DRS. He also needs to know that those guys on the softs are coming from behind and potentially going to be a threat by the end.
Wow, Brian Scott has made up nearly 4 seconds on Packer in the last couple laps. What's going on there?
I'd imagine Packer,
going easy?
9-lap-old medium's probably not feeling great. Yeah, he's probably just backed off a bit, taking it easy. Just wants to make sure he brings it home. And if he makes a mistake here and has to pit for a wing, then he's probably lost the race, right?
But maybe. You know, that's one thing I didn't check, and I meant to, was the pit delta.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's
always
as long
figure...
as last week.
No, I'd say it's like 25 seconds roughly.
Well, last week it was like 31.
But for a wing change, right? There's another 8. And then he's got to get ahead of Jinnit and Brian. So I'm sure he'd probably be fine, but why risk it?
What do we got?
Do you have, looks like a Mercedes. Is that Zem?
Sector 3, I don't see it.
Yeah, that's Zemoglis. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Error, so I think he's gone into the pits, and he's probably done for the night, I guess.
And we'll see. I'm riding on both of them. It looks like a swing. Oh, he lost an end plate. No, maybe not. He's just pit for the softs. Nice. Glad he stayed in the race.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I figured he was frustrated because he's had another moment and just went into the pits to retire, but...
You know, I guess, excuse me, he could be looking to steal the fastest lap from the point boys.
Yeah, I think he's probably capable of doing it, but he's not going to get a point for it, so...
No, he won't get a point, but he would take it away from somebody else getting it, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he would. Joshua just made a nice
play the spoiler, so to speak.
So here he comes. He's got clear air now to T-Money and Asylum.
Who is that ghosted in front of Wreck Driver in the Red Bull?
RC probably?
Yeah, maybe it is because he's
He's about the lap. He's about a lap
yeah,
behind Lunar, right? Or would you say Wreck? Yeah.
wrecked. Yeah, I think you're right. So he's probably seen the blue flags. Let me ride on board with him. And yeah, there goes Rex.
So Joshua not really making up the time on T-Money that I suspected he would. I wonder if the softs are already starting to fall off a little bit, because he is being pressured again by Adri behind. Adri actually has a shot at this into the corner. He's alongside. Looking for that switchback maybe underneath, but also so is Wreck. Wreck on those soft tires looking for a move.
Man, what a lonely race for Packer.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at him all race, the poor guy. He was getting any
Yeah, he was just going through the chicane there towards the end of Sector 2 and struggled a little bit for Packer. I mean, probably that's an ace for me, but he struggled through it for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's increased his lean.
Absolutely hounding Adri here. He's all over the gearbox. Watching Joshua slowly get away. He's trying to do everything he can to get through here.
We might have him. If we can get to the inside. Nope, nope, nope. Adri's blocking that. Very smart.
For the line. There it is.
Oh, he might.
Nice job from Rectiver. That was a really solid move.
Yeah.
He left Adri enough space, but he put the squeeze on and got the move done. So really solid overtake there.
Yep. And Adri was gracious enough that once he realized he lost the position, he didn't try to force a bad move.
Yeah, Adri getting a solid tow down this straight now, so not the worst timing to get past. Double slipstream there.
I really enjoy that when, not that anybody likes to be passed, but it's nice to see when somebody is overtaken that who's that went deep?
Yeah, it's a ghosted car, I think. Razor.
Is it? It's just nice to see that when you are being overtaken, if you've lost the position, just let it go graciously and you know, refocus and try to get it back. You don't try to, out of anger, try to block the guy and compromise his race and your race and anybody else that might be around you. So I really like seeing that where Adri, it appeared to me I was with Rockstar. I'm sorry, Wreck Driver. It seemed like,
Speaking of Wreck, here he goes around the outside on Joshua.
Yeah.
Same move, 2 laps in a row, and it's done again.
Yeah. Yep, and again, same deal. The driver that's being overtaken is not being I don't want to say anything.
You can say it.
Not being an asshole. He just he just say, okay, hopefully I can get you back.
Yep. Oh, we're getting pouring ads again. Yeah, no puff today. No puff. Yeah, Joshua's seeming to struggle on these softs a little bit. They just don't seem to be working for him very well, because Adri is now back in the mix. I figured they would have been pulling away, so I think the real threat here, Wreck, 2 seconds to T-Money ahead. I think
Packer boxed,
quite safe.
By the way.
Yeah, he did. And he's still 11 seconds ahead. Did Brian make an error and give him that gap? Because that seems oddly large for having just pit. I figured he would be behind still.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I don't know. It surprised me. I looked up and there was an 11-second interval, and then I looked over and I saw Packer had stopped. So
yeah,
unfortunately we missed it.
Well, Brian's gap to Janet's about the same, so maybe not.
Oh, great point. Yeah, because it was about 5.5. So
it is. You know what? If you look at the pit lane on the map, it is really short. Maybe it is a quick pit here. Because he had, what, 23 seconds? He's not getting a 10-second pit stop, so...
I think it was back up to
did he get
26.
Yeah, where did he get that time? 18 seconds, I guess?
You know, I wonder if Packer was listening. Because Packer just set the fastest lap reset.
That's true.
Actually, I don't know if Zem was able to take that away or acquire the fastest lap, but Packer just took it back if he had.
Okay, so the charge is on. Wreck Diver has 1.3 seconds to make up, to get by T-Money, and we've seen him make a move in the middle of the lap a couple times in a row, and he's going to be in that striking distance again. So we'll look behind, we see Joshua being pressured by Andrew, but we got Wreck Diver closing in on T-Money. Asylum will be well safe here. This is really, can T-Money hang on to that P6? I'm sure he'd love to, but Wreck Diver has something to say about it, and he is charging. So as we come to the final lap here, we already know who's going to win. Let's get on. Let's take the junk off the screen. Let's just watch some solid racing here. We've got Andrew pressuring Joshua behind, and then we also have Wreck Diver looking to make a move on T-Money on the final lap of the Miami Grand Prix. Let's see what he can do. Doesn't have the DRS into his favorite spot here, so he's probably going to have to try and get a good exit and get a run down the back straight. Adri not quite close enough at the moment, but definitely in striking distance. See what Wreck Diver can do. Maybe those softs have seen better days at this stage. Should have the DRS. I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. So Wreck Diver doesn't get the DRS, but Joshua and Adri do. Could Joshua make a final lap move, potentially, to get back into P7? He's close, but... Oh, super deep on the brakes! And I don't know if that was too evasive action, or did Wreck Diver move late?
All right. Super excited, Ferrari boys. My New Englander and fellow New Englander and peer, PWR Asylum, and then T-Money all day, that's been helping me out a long time. He's been part of this league for a long time. We've been friends for a long time, so very happy to see him up in the points again.
Yeah, T-Money was a really solid night. And Packer wins it. Never really looked in doubt. We got Brian P2. See if we can get the fastest lap up. Where is it?
No, that's
That's the interval fastest lap. Right now. Position change. Yeah, so we know Packer got it.
Amazing. No, I predicted 2 safety cars. What an idiot. None.
Zero.
None.
No safety cars. The only retirements were done in the pits. No one actually crashed on track.
And no VSC.
Yeah, that was
right.
A really solid night. Really, really solid racing. And the formation lap didn't screw us out of the race start. Just, what a great night for F1.
Yep.
Great night for ZOR.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was solid. It was a really solid race. Lots of good action start to finish. Obviously, a little bit of field spread. We didn't, it would be my dream come true if we had 20 cars all racing nose to tail, but you can't get that every week. You never will. And having multiple battles to watch, for 29 laps is always a gift, so.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think we're spoiled at times here.
We wouldn't have been able to cover all the gaps.
No.
All the battles.
All right. Run you through the
order. And I think
quickly.
only 2 penalties, right? Only 2 drivers with penalties.
4 it looks like had penalties, but
4.
Packer with the fastest lap. Brian takes home P2, Janet 3rd, Rockstar 4th, Asylum 5th, T-Money 6th, Wreck Diver 7th, Joshua 8th, Adri finishes 9th, Buzz picks up a point as a reserve, nice job. Lunar 11th, Vinny 12th, and then Zem, RC, Razor, Beck, and Say round out the rest of the field. Not a great night for any of those drivers down there. Say really his first bad race of the season, which not surprising. A track he probably is unfamiliar with. I'm sure he'll bounce back next week, but it's a rough result for a few guys there. And ready for some interviews, so get these guys invited to the party. Brian. There's Packer. Packer. And good old Janet. Oh wait, here's Janet. Is he offline already?
I don't think so.
He's not
Janet's
online,
not
but I'll throw him an invite. Looks like he might have shut it down. Oh, there he is. All right.
There he is.
Ooh.
Well, he was third, so you can kick it off with Janet if you'd like.
All right, Janet. Great job, buddy.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Before we talk about the race, I want you to give me your opinion of the track.
That
Do you
chicane at the end of Sector 2 needs to be gone. that's the only problem. That's my only concern. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It's not bad. Okay, cool.
No.
So we we can't watch everybody. You make any mistakes out there tonight that you felt, damn it, that cost me a position or?
In the first stint, I lost the car and nearly took Andrew with me. Andrew pretty much had to come to a standstill, I think, or swerve away. I had a few dodgy incidents, but I kept it out of the wall, kept it on track. But yeah, I just didn't have the pace that Brian had today.
But now, were you able to really push, or were you driving kind of tentatively? Given that it's a new track and you're probably not all that comfortable with it, but so what was your approach?
Just finish, get no damage.
Just finish.
Try and get no damage and finish as high as possible.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, because none of us have really had the chance to drive this, and there are a lot of spots that seem very slippery if you're a little eager on the throttle. And I think we did catch one. Oh, go ahead.
It's basically for the no traction control. But coming out the last corner, it can be absolutely horrible. As you've probably seen on stream, a few people lose it coming out the last corner.
Yep.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
So, congratulations really to the entire field. There were no VSCs and no safety cars. So, and I think Bigger just pointed out there was only 4 drivers with penalties. So, a great night really for Tier 1 at a track that is really new to everybody. So, congratulations, Janet.
Thank you.
Great job, P3. Nothing to be disappointed at this new track. So. I'll see you next week, buddy.
Cheers. I'll catch you later, guys.
See ya. Now, Brian, I'm going to have the same question for you. Just your opinion of the track, regardless of how you raced it. What do you think of the track?
Yeah, definitely going to be a hot take here, but I love this track. My favorite sector is actually the chicane that Janet absolutely despises.
Okay.
That's a complete lie. I don't mind it though. I do actually really like it. I think it does stink for overtaking, but it just means you got to get the move done before that. But I really like the track. It's fun.
Do you? How do you feel about that technical, the double chicane essentially at the end, towards the end of Sector 2 before the back straight? Is that one of the sectors that you really, one of the parts of the track you really enjoy driving through, or?
Yeah. It's really weird, but for whatever reason, I really like that area. I'm quick through there. I think I know how to take the right line, and I don't know. I do enjoy it. That's where I gained a lot of my time. I noticed on people, so it's definitely it's a tricky sector, and I understand, or section, and I know why people don't like it, but I personally really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I expected that. I felt that was one of those areas that guys. It would be a bottleneck. The guys that were a little bit slower through that part would really hinder the guys that were really good at going through it. And however, if you, for instance, that like to go through there, you would never really be threatened, and that's where you would make up all your time, so long as you got a great exit coming onto that. But yeah, that is a very, very tricky area, and I don't think we had any major incidents going through that area. So again, like I mentioned, Janet, hats off to you guys. That's awesome that there were really no major incidents. So really, I was surprised. Nobody went hard to soft except for, I think, was it Josh and somebody else?
Josh and
So-
Rec.
Josh and Rex, was that part of your plan at all, or were you always going to be going, medium to hard, or I forget what you started on, but
Yeah. I did some practice. I did a lot of practice, and I kind of knew what my strategy was going to be, so I knew I was going medium hards. I planned it from the beginning because I really thought, well, not really thought, but I expected there to be a safety car fairly early. We did not get that, surprisingly, but I'm not complaining about it, but the softs are good. They do wear out pretty quick. Not as quick as we had in Imola, but definitely very quick, and I just didn't want to risk it being maybe a lap or two after I would have pit for softs, or pit from the softs that a safety car comes out.
right. Yeah, again, we really were. Big and I was talking about it as the laps went by, and guys were still on the hards at 16, 17, 18 laps. We thought, okay, these guys are stretching it to the softs most likely. Yet, I think 6 out of the 8, we'll say, went to the mediums. But that everything worked out. I mean, everybody was. The driving was phenomenal. Obviously, no safety cars, no VSCs. There were some spins. Guys were able to avoid contact with other cars for the most part. So all in all, great week for Tier 1. And so, Brian, congratulations on your podium for P2. And we'll see you next week for sure.
Thank you.
Now, welcome back, Packer.
Hello.
My condolences, first and foremost, for I believe you had a loss in your life.
Yeah.
So my condolences there. Congratulations on P1. You was really never in doubt. Was it boring out there?
I mean, a little bit. I don't particularly like this track. I absolutely despise everything bar like half of the first sector, so yeah, it did get a little boring just trying to find my way through, but I did have a little bit of spin towards the end of the race, and then going for the fast lap made it a little more interesting.
So did you execute the plan as you wanted to, or was going to pitting for the softs at the end just gravy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I probably, after looking at my gap on the hards when it came time to pit for the mediums, I probably should have pit a little bit earlier, just because my mediums would have been a lot better than, because most people started on mediums. My mediums would have been a lot better than their hards at the time. So, yeah, I probably should have pit a little bit earlier. But besides that, yeah, went pretty well.
So were you surprised that most of the guys, or a lot of the guys, started on the mediums? And if you knew that was the case, would you have started on the mediums, or were you sticking to the hards no matter what?
I probably should have started on the mediums in the first place, but I didn't really think about it. The strategy I did on Saturday, started on hards and was expecting really no safety cars or anything to interrupt my strategy. And then if anything, I was expecting a safety car today, but we didn't get one, and I went under on fuel, and I was saving fuel most of the first stint, just lifting off a little bit before corners or just using higher gears in general. Overall, the entire stint, just to get that whatever 0.2 laps of fuel that I went under with.
Great point. I never considered, I don't know if Bigga did, but yeah, because there were no safety cars, guys that might have been banking on that may have gone with a little less fuel, may have affected their race, because there were no safety cars, no VSCs, nothing. So, yeah, interesting. Could have affected a lot of the guys that finished a little bit lower down the field. Maybe they were doing the same thing, lifting off. Well, congratulations. You missed, I believe, 2 weeks, unfortunately. We missed you. You're back, and we're happy that you're back, and a pretty much flawless race. Unfortunately, you did get a penalty.
Yeah, just the chicane. The first 2 laps I got warnings, and then after that I kind of calmed down, and then I don't remember when I got the penalty. I think it was on the mediums, like right when I pit, and I guess either cold tires or just the mediums have so much more grip than the Warren hards, like it's ridiculous. So, yeah.
All right, I'm going to hand. Congratulations again. I'll hand it over to Bigga.
Yeah, no questions here. Just another solid night of racing, and congrats to the podium guys. Appreciate you being here. As always, Tier 2 and Tier 3 will kick off Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern for the Miami Grand Prix Round 4 there. And next week, Miami, where we go? Monaco next week, eh? Is that what it is?
Ooh, I hope so.
Is.
Spain.
Spain.
Spain. Damn it. And then we have a break. Then
Yeah,
after the
Spain
break week.
Monaco.
Yeah, Spain break, Monaco. So we have 2 weeks off and come back to Monaco. I'm sure everyone's going to be thrilled about that one. Some people will be taking a 2-week vacation, I guess. Anyways. Bragging rights, man. You win Monaco. You only say you won Monaco. You're a Monaco winner, Monaco champion. So 2 weeks from now, actually I guess it'll be 3 weeks from now, will be Monaco. So next week, Spain. We'll be back here Monday night for that, and then we'll have a week off, except for Tier 3. In that break week, we'll be racing their Australia sprint weekend, because I had to postpone that. So, but yeah, later this week, Miami, Tier 2, Tier 3, and next week we move on to Spain before the break week for the holiday weekend. And I appreciate everyone being here. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.
See you, boys.